Andor Season 2, Episode 7, titled Messenger, brings Cassian back to Gorman after spending some time with the rebels and builds the narrative around Luthen losing his grip on Cassian. But the music gave us little to go off of for this episode. This is Star Wars Music Analysis.
Do it.
The title card takes us back to something that reminded me of the track Your Mother Is Dead from Season 1, which was a powerful rendition of Cassian's theme as he realizes Marva has passed. It builds slightly but remains relatively restrained throughout. So, going into this episode, I was expecting to see the aftermath of Cinta's death and its impact on Vale potentially. From there, the now familiar introduction that we saw in episode 1 and 4 returns as we hear a variation on the Time Grappler's Beskar chimes from season 1, as time has once again moved forward by another year. An ascending half-step moves further into lighter and noble music as we see that the rebels have now really settled on Yavin 4. This track has a nice wartime feel to it, but it didn't have a rebellion feel, which I was disappointed about. There were several great themes already out there that Roberts could have pulled from, including Andor's own rebellion theme, or this would have been a great time to introduce the rebel fanfare in broad variation. If any of this was in the track, it's buried too deep though for me to hear it, and I just was left wanting more. As Wilman speaks with Cassian and Bix, light music eventually enters that blends in with the sound of the jungle in the background more than anything else, keeping us engaged with the tension of the conversation.
If he can count on you.
Well, he's not making it easy.
It contrasts with the feelings of the music as Cyril walks through the city center of Gorman. The tension and energy that the reporters are talking about being bottled up in the music now as well.
There was a firebombing last night at the naval terminal in Palmo. You can
feel this city, which was already on edge these past few months, tightening up.
As Cassian and Bix see Daeja's profile, synth voices enter first in eulogy to those they remember on Ferrix. It builds as they get worked up about it.
She keeps winning. You know she has to be stopped. I'm late for my briefing.
But Bix remains silent, and as she is, the music slowly twists from the chords of Cassian's theme to those of the ISB as Bix is consumed with one over the other. But we begin to fully hear the chords of the ISB as we move to Gorman and see Daedra plotting the next step with Partagaz.
Captain Kaido is arriving today.
He's here. He's outside my room.
The building energy returns as we hear more about the Gorman shipyard bombing through the HoloNet news. As the Gorman front speak, one of the softest and most intimate tracks of their theme yet enters. It teases with their theme as it swells in and out through its harmony, remaining in lighter and more delicate woodwinds before eventually giving way to a single phrase in the French horn. As we return to the rebel base on Yavin 4, we hear everyone listening to something similar to a tribal drumming in the background, using membrane drums and utilizing very off-balance beat emphases so that it feels almost like the downbeat is not the downbeat. Other percussion then layer in with it, adding more complexity as well. As the Force Healer touches Cassian, synths enter at first, giving a sense of mystery and wonder like the sci-fi mysticism that we are watching. Drones from this remain as they talk. It keeps shifting sound slightly before adding strings and swelling a bit as the healer speaks with Bix about Cassian.
Who is he? A pilot. Soldier.
As she speaks with Cassian, the same chord progression that we've been hearing throughout this episode returns again. This is starting to intrigue me. This whole episode has felt different. Roberts is not giving us the standard tracks and themes that we would expect, but this progression keeps returning, and I'm curious if he's planting seeds for us as the season continues. But as Cassian leaves Yavin, his theme does appear as he demonstrates an act of defiance against the rebellion. As he enters the hotel on Gorman, light opera singing can be heard in the background. I wouldn't be surprised if this were an actual opera, but it's too light for me to make out what it would be. But this is yet more of the Viennese culture finding its way into Gorman, as opera, like waltzes, would have been a large part of the 18th and 19th century culture of the city.
Welcome. Thank you.
A variation of Cassian's theme enters to close out the episode, the music building in tension as Cassian realizes he's already in the trap and surrounded. The Gorman aria returns during the end credits. In music, an aria is derived from the word for air and refers to a sung work. They become synonymous with opera as the music sung by lead roles to expand in a specific element of the plot, and are the melodies we're meant to remember after the concert. If you've ever sung or played a melody from an opera, you're singing an aria. And I, as a classical musician, love how much they've supplanted music into this world building. Every time we return to Gorman, there's different music growing the underlying culture of Gorman, and it truly feels like a place with real and massive history, even though we only ever see this one small location on the planet. What did you all think? Were you excited to hear all of these little pieces throughout our time on Gorman interlaced into the world around us? Did it feel genuine and sincere to Gorman for you? This is the first episode where nothing in the music excited me at all or stuck out. It felt like an entire episode of basic interludes, transition tracks, filler music even. But perhaps that's also just a product of this episode where there wasn't anything specifically notable that occurred. It's just building towards the next great moment. So the music was just following in that narrative. But I'm also curious what all of you think. Did this episode or its music feel flat to you? Were you also hoping for a little rebel music in the opening? Tell me in the comments below what you think, and consider checking out my Patreon page using the link in the description, where you can help support this channel for as little as $1 a month, or download PDFs and MP3s of projects as I complete them, along with other perks at higher tiers. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of a galaxy far, far away, and as always, may the be with you.